When is it time to let them go? When is it time to tell you that the breakup recovery was not successful, that it is not maybe possible, or that is not good for you? We have seen some situation that could be very toxic as well. I have told people, yeah, you know what? This is not good. You should not get him, her back. This can happen when we realize that we have changed and they have not changed and they only want to control you. But we want to hear from the best, Coach Adrian. How are you doing, Coach Adrian?
Doing good. Thank you. Very happy to be able to do this video with you.
Yeah, because we are in the process of helping people getting back together, saving their marriage, saving their relationship, being happy, changing also their bad pattern, bad habits, healing from the roots from the past. So there is a lot of things that we help you, but sometimes the best is to let them go. Or sometimes we have no choice. So I would like to know when it's time for you, Coach Adrian, to basically let her go and just decide that is better.
So this is a very, very, very good question and a very good topic. And if you're listening to us on our podcast, I'm so happy that you're listening to this because it's very important. The goal here is not to continuously pursue someone who does not want to be with you. And oftentimes, letting go doesn't have to be something that is sad, tragic, disappointing, or hurtful. On the contrary, in most cases, when individuals that we work with have to let go of their ex, they do so willingly. They do so on their own terms. They do so while at peace because they have realized that it may not be what's in their best interest, or it may not be ultimately what they truly want because they have no regrets. And this is the first point that I would like to make. It's a lot easier to realize that this is not the right person for you or that it's time to let go when you feel like you have done absolutely everything possible to learn from the mistakes of the past, to grow, to really challenge yourself to become that best version of you and to turn the breakup into an opportunity to reinvent yourself, and an opportunity really to become that person that you know you could have been throughout the relationship. Once that transformation is real and your ex becomes the only person in the world to not see it, to not value it, to not honor it, it is a lot easier to say, you know what? It's time to let go of this hope of being together or this hope of creating this ideal relationship that I thought was possible.
And I love what you mentioned because it will lead you guys to not have any regrets, but also in the meantime to tell yourself, I have done everything possible. I have done my best. I have stepped up, right? I have managed my mistakes. And today, I'm just looking for something even better than the past. So I will tell you that the moment you start to look for tomorrow and not yesterday, you will be able to let them go without fears, without regrets, without feeling bad, without negative emotions, being at peace with yourself. Mm-hmm. That is the moment you can just let them go without hurting yourself, without feeling that they disrespected you or they didn't give you enough attention. Mm-hmm. So the goal for you today is not to get them back. It is not this. The goal for you today will be to try to change, to evolve, to get all the chances or the best chances to rebuild a relationship because of the new version of your personality, of your changes, and of the results that you can expect from this. Mm-hmm. And that will lead to this idea of no regrets. Why is it so important, Coach Adrian, to not have any regrets in order for them to let them go and to move on as well, or to move forward?
To me, it comes down to being at peace with yourself, and also to make sure that you're continuing to evolve and to build in a positive way. Usually there's two types of individuals that I coach when it comes to this notion of letting go. And the first type of people are absolutely petrified of this notion, of this idea. They see it as an end, like a death of some kind. The hope of a new relationship has taken a life of its own, and everything in their life revolves around that hope. And when we talk about creating a new identity, something that I talk about in many podcasts, many videos, in essence, what I'm asking you to do is to let go of that identity where your entire world and happiness is centered around that hope of rebuilding a new relationship with this person at all costs. Because when you're in this mindset, you're not maximizing your chances of reaching the goal. You're putting them on a pedestal, subconsciously putting your ex on a pedestal, and everything that you do or say does not have the maximum impact that it could have if you approach this process the right way, if you detached, if you focused on personal transformation, and ultimately if you are successful in creating this new identity post-breakup. And working with these individuals is challenging in that you are focused on communication strategy. Your anxiety is oftentimes a lot more of a hurdle, I would say, than comparing it to the second type of individuals who intuitively get that notion and understand that they don't have to be with their ex to be happy. They choose to be. And they understand that it's not the end of the world if they are not successful, because they value themselves. They're confident in that they can reinvent themselves without their significant other. They're conscious of what they bring to the table. And they also realize that their ex is not perfect. Their ex bears some responsibility in the relationship not working out. And they understand that it will be their loss if they choose to move on and to let go. So those are the two profiles, generally speaking, that I wanted to directly talk to in this podcast, in this video, when it comes to this topic of, knowing when to let go and finding peace in that process. And it's important to get a sense as to where you land here, because depending on your mindset and your outlook when it comes to this question, if this is something that you completely dread, and if you feel like it's more like the death of something, that prospect of letting go, then in truth, the process of breakup recovery is way more a process of personal transformation than it is a process of communication with your significant other. And it felt necessary to tell you this.
And it is because that is the vision that you need to have right now. Because you're waking up every single day to try to get your ex back, and you're wondering, should I let go? Is it over? And you know what? I've seen Coach Adrian, I've seen a lot of people coming to me and telling me, Alex, hey, it's been 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years since the breakup. I think it's over. But I realized that during this period of time, they made the same mistake again and again. Mm-hmm. It is not about time. It is not about time, because if you do the same mistake during 10 years, you would end up with the same results, which is pushing your ex away. But what if you can do the right actions? So for me, you cannot let them go. You cannot stop until you reach the right actions, until you try to do these changes on yourself where you can be a real valuable asset in their life. Because if you only focus on, okay, Alex, it didn't work. I did the no contact. I did the 30 days no contact straight. But if during these 30 days, You were counting the days. You were not going out. You were faking it. I had a client writing to me, Alex, I'm faking it. Good. No, it's not good. I don't want you to fake it. I want you to be the real change. I want you to be in a different mindset right now. And when you do that, you will be able to let them go naturally because you will see that this is not for you. And we have this type of situation, Coach Adrian, where we are on the phone. I am on the phone. I'm listening to that story. I'm like, this is narcissist. This is a very toxic relationship. Basically, this person is not maybe the right one for you. So that would be another way to tell someone, hey, maybe it's time to let them go if you cannot be compatible, if you cannot receive love and attention, and there is some toxic signs. Do you see this type of situation also as well?
Absolutely. The goal is not to get a specific person back into your life. The goal is to be in a happy, healthy relationship that enables you to carry forward something greater than yourself, like a common life project with someone that is invested with you. And if you are in love or if you have strong feelings for someone, it does not make them the right person for you. And oftentimes I see good people, wonderful, wonderful human beings who have so much to offer, but whose hearts are attached to someone who is clearly not the right person for them, not healthy, holding them back, hurting them, and they continuously try to give them a pass, to give them a second chance. They oversee all of the mistakes and the pain that this person has caused them because they are blinded by their feelings and emotions. And in situations like this, I often feel a lot of compassion and empathy for these individuals, but then I have to break the news to them in a coaching session saying, you're paying for my honest assessment of your situation, and it seems to me like there are a lot of red flags. And, maybe you need to take a step back and look at this process and this relationship from a different angle and from a different, point of view. There's one client in particular that I worked with. She was in Poland, in Europe, and she was going through a long distance breakup with someone that was in the islands. And every time that I think about this topic, I think about her because she was the sweetest individual, sweetest soul, so patient, so loving, so forgiving, so wonderful. And she was in love with a man that constantly and continuously disrespected her, hurt her, took her love for granted, used her love for his own validation and ego. And, after many months of back and forth, after a sexual encounter, she realized that he was seeing someone else. And she was still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, to the point that it affected her mental health. And she started to have all sorts of existential issues. And she had been going through so many challenges herself. And seeing this person go through this process of acceptance, of detachment, of choosing to let go on her terms is something that is absolutely heartwarming. And for me, that is a success story too. Being able to detach yourself from a toxic dynamic on your own terms is a success story. I don't do what I do to just help people get their ex back. I do what I do to help people be happy in love and in life. And so not all relationships are meant to be salvaged. Now, having said all of those things, like Coach Alex said, many times clients reach out to us as the last resort after they have made all the mistakes in the book, banging their head against the wall, and they're reaching out simply to just they don't even believe that it is possible, and they're reaching out just to hear it, that it's not possible. When in reality, I'm telling them, you have not approached this process the right way yet. It is not possible for me to tell you that it's impossible and to let it go, because you have not approached this process the right way yet, right? Doesn't mean that it's a guarantee that you're going to be successful, but we won't know until you approach this process the right way. And everything we do, all of the videos that we produce, all of the podcast episodes that you can listen to, on Spotify or wherever you're listening to your podcast, all of the free gifts that we provide you to go deeper into our philosophy to raise your emotional IQ are meant to make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that you have approached your breakup recovery process the right way, so that when it is time to let go, you are happy to do so. You have no regrets, going back to what we have been talking about throughout this episode.
And you have no fears as well. You know that this is the best decision for you because you have done the job and you have done a lot of actions that was also able for you to look at the situation and tell yourself, maybe I was happy with that person. It's not the case anymore. I can move on without regrets, without feeling sad, without telling yourself, oh, maybe I should have done this and done that. And the reason why we want to go to this stage is because if you have regrets or thoughts in your mind, you will never be able to let go of this relationship. I've coached people that, was in a breakup for years and they still talk about the past because they have regrets. This is what we want to avoid. That's why it's better to do actions to stay on your, on your side. Or that's why it's also very important to understand the process instead of doing the same mistake again and again. So guys, we know it's not easy to hear, hey, it's time to let them go. But if you know that the situation is toxic, be distant. First, be distant and you will see if you need to let them go or if it will also make your ex more respecting you, because that can happen as well. There's a lot of options. But you need to understand that sometimes doing actions and going after your ex will not help. You need to let them go if this relationship is toxic, if you don't see yourself growing with this relationship. And I forgot to tell you that, but that is maybe the main one that I should have started with. But if you have a restraining order, right? If there is some justice involved, don't mess up, guys, right? We have only one life. Take the time you need. Maybe one day you will be able to communicate, maybe not. But when there is the justice, I will really recommend you to step away.
Very good advice.
That happened just a few times, but it happened.
Yeah, I have quite a few clients who are in these types of situations, sometimes as a result of their own doing, sometimes because they're also with a very manipulative person who is trying to destroy them. But Coach Alex touched on a few points that I think is very important to expand on. If you're still in the same mindset that you were in at the time of the breakup, no matter if it's been a week, a month, a year, or 10 years, I cannot tell you that it's time to let go. You have not approached the process the right way because you're in still the same mindset. You're still the person that you were at the time of the breakup. You're not offering something new, even if you feel like you've changed. If your mindset has not changed, you have not changed. And it's not possible for me to sit here and to tell you to let go because I still believe that we don't have enough data to see if it's possible or not. That's one thing that I felt was important to tell you. So if you haven't evolved, I can't answer that question yet. The second is that sometimes people don't know if this is the right person for them or not. And Coach Alex just said that it's very important to see if this person can help you grow. And this is a key question that you need to ask yourself. If you're not sure if you're being blinded by your feelings and emotions, sometimes you're caught up in the bubble and you can't see. And your friends are telling you, this person wasn't good for you anyway. Your parents are relieved, but you still don't see what they see. And you're not sure if they're just trying to protect you or if truly this was a toxic dynamic and you just don't have the perspective that you have when you're advising your friends, when things seem very clear and obvious when you're on the sideline. Ask yourself this question. Has this relationship and has this person helped me to grow in the last month, year, however long your relationship was? And if you do think, yes, they have helped you grow, how? Mm-hmm. Are you able to verbalize this rationally? And again, life is not linear. There's ups and downs. There's highs and lows. We're in the grays, meaning that, not every aspect of the relationship is usually bad. Not every aspect of the relationship is usually good. You can progress and then regress. But generally speaking, how has this relationship helped you become a better person? How has this person helped you become a better person? And if you're unable to verbalize this, then maybe it's time to pause and to consider if this is still worth fighting for. Are you actually fighting the good fight, or are you being blinded by your emotions, right? And this is something that you and only you can answer for yourself, because if someone else tries to answer it for you, you won't accept it. You will reject it. And I think it's important for you guys to go through that process to really try to figure out, if this is something that is healthy or not.
What I think, Coach Adrian, that could be a good exercise now is for you guys to tell us in the comment section just right below. Tell us, what is your story? What do you think of the situation? Was it a relationship that is still helping you to grow, was helping you to grow? And based on that, we will be able to respond with the team to assist you. Remember, and you talk about the free gift, you have like free videos on how to process this situation, meaning how to get your ex back, how to rebuild yourself. This is in the description just right below. You just have to click in the description and you will be able, guys, to get some free videos where we assist you, we follow you. We also do live masterclass. So when we do live masterclass, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes of content where we just like take you from point A to point B. We answer your question at the end. It's just another way for us to assist you, to show you that it is possible. We are not just here to help you get your ex back. We are also here to help you feel better, be better, and why not moving on the best way. And even with that, you can book a private coaching session. It's on withmyexagain.com/coaching. So you have the free gift, you have the comment section just right below, and you have the private coaching. That's how we can go to the next step. That would be my advice to you guys.
And again, there's a difference between moving forward after a breakup and moving on and letting go. And moving forward is usually absolutely necessary in order to create something new. Moving on may not necessarily be in the cards for you, but if it is the case, make sure that it happens on your terms. Make sure that you have no regrets. Make sure that you can look in the mirror and be proud of what you see, because then you have turned the breakup, the crisis, into an opportunity, and you're going to be better for it. You will be better served for it. And if you're unsure, because it's very, very, very difficult sometimes to navigate this period because of how emotional you are and because you feel isolated and alone, we're here. Like Coach Alex just explained, we are trying every single day to provide more and more support for you, more content. And if you are not in a position to have support, to pay for support in private coaching sessions, that is okay. We have our podcast, we have our YouTube channel, we have free gifts that enable you to go way, 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 way deeper into our approach and our philosophy. And if you need to really get that support, maybe, consider booking a private coaching session and you won't regret it.
As always, like my dear friend Coach Adrian is saying, keep fighting the good fight. Know that we are here for you. Digest this video, listen to it again. We know it's not easy to hear, but let them go. But sometimes it's also the best way for you to feel better, be better, and why not attract your ex, attract someone else, but attract the best to you. We will see you very soon. Thank you, Coach Adrian. Talk to you soon, guys.
Thank you very much. And
Bye.
see you soon for another episode
with
my dear friend, Coach Alex.
Bye-bye, guys.